Hey everyone. Today we're diving into the world of Azure to compare two powerful services, Azure Front Door and Azure CDN. Both help deliver content to users around the globe, but they do it in different ways. Think of it like this. CDN is like a local express delivery service for static content, while Front Door is a smart traffic manager for dynamic applications. We'll break down their key differences, focusing on four main areas: traffic routing, caching mechanisms, WAF security capabilities, and failover features. By the end of this series, you'll know exactly when to use each service and how they can help optimize your applications. Let's get started. Traffic routing is how your web service decides which server should handle each user's request. Different Azure services use different strategies to make this decision. Azure CDN uses a straightforward approach. It simply routes each user to the nearest edge location. This works great for static content like images, videos, and CSS files. The US user gets routed to the US server, and the European user gets routed to the European server. It's simple and effective for basic content delivery. Azure Front Door takes a much smarter approach. It considers multiple factors like latency, server health, and endpoint weighting to choose the best server for each request. Front Door continuously monitors server performance. Here we can see the US server has higher latency and lower health scores compared to the European server. Notice how Front Door routes the US user to the European server instead. Even though it's farther away, the European server has better performance metrics, resulting in a faster overall experience. Think of it like GPS navigation. A basic GPS just finds the shortest route, while a smart GPS considers traffic conditions, road quality, and real-time data to find the fastest route. The key difference is that CDN uses simple geographic routing, while Front Door uses intelligent routing that considers multiple performance factors to deliver the best user experience. Caching is the secret sauce that makes websites load lightning fast. Both Azure CDN and Front Door use caching, but they work in very different ways. Azure CDN specializes in caching static content like images, videos, and code files. Think of it like stocking shelves at local stores. Once an item is requested, it gets stored at the nearest edge location for faster access. When a user requests content, CDN checks if it's already cached. If yes, it's delivered instantly. If not, it fetches from the origin server and stores a copy for future requests. Content stays cached until its time to live or TTL expires. For static content, this is typically 24 hours or more, since these files rarely change. Azure Front Door takes a smarter approach. It caches both static and dynamic content, adapting like a dynamic inventory system that responds to changing demand patterns. Front Door intelligently decides what to cache and for how long, based on content type and usage patterns. Dynamic content might be cached for minutes, while static content for hours. Here's how they compare in performance. CDN excels at static content delivery with 95% efficiency, while Front Door shines with dynamic content at 90% efficiency. Both maintain strong cache hit rates. The key takeaway: CDN is like having well-stocked local stores for static content, while Front Door is like having a smart distribution center that adapts to both static and dynamic needs in real time. Security is absolutely crucial for any web application. When comparing Azure CDN and Azure Front Door, their security capabilities differ significantly. Let's explore how each service protects your applications. Azure CDN provides basic security features. It offers content protection to prevent unauthorized access, SSL and TLS encryption for secure data transmission, and token authentication for access control. These are fundamental security measures, but they're relatively basic. Azure Front Door offers significantly enhanced security capabilities. It includes a full web application firewall, DDoS protection, advanced threat detection, and real-time monitoring. This creates a comprehensive security layer that actively protects against sophisticated attacks. Let me show you how the web application firewall actually works in practice. Think of WAF as a security guard standing at the front door of your application, checking every visitor before they enter. Here's your application server, and here's the WAF acting as a security guard. Every request must pass through the WAF before reaching your application. For example, when a malicious SQL injection attack tries to access your database, The WAF recognizes the dangerous SQL code patterns and blocks the request immediately. Similarly, when cross-site scripting attacks attempt to inject malicious scripts into your web pages, the WAF detects these script patterns and prevents them from reaching your application. But when legitimate users make normal requests, the WAF recognizes these as safe and allows them to pass through to your application without any interference. The WAF in Azure Front Door provides several key advantages that make it superior to basic CDN security. WAF provides real-time threat protection that adapts to new attack patterns. It automatically updates security rules, allows custom policies for your specific needs, provides detailed analytics about security events, and maintains zero downtime protection so your users never experience interruptions. To summarize the security comparison, Azure CDN offers basic protection suitable for simple content delivery, while Azure Front Door provides enterprise-grade security with comprehensive BOAF capabilities. It's like comparing a basic door lock to a full security system with guards, cameras, and advanced monitoring. When building reliable web applications, one of the most critical concerns is what happens when something goes wrong. Today, we'll explore how Azure CDN and Azure Front Door handle failover scenarios to ensure your applications stay online. Failover is the process of automatically switching to backup systems when primary systems fail. This is critical for maintaining uptime, ensuring good user experience, and keeping business operations running smoothly. Azure CDN relies primarily on DNS for routing and doesn't have built-in traffic management capabilities. This means when a server fails, the system often requires manual intervention and has slower failover response times. Azure Front Door includes advanced traffic management features like weighted routing, health probes, and automatic failover. It continuously monitors back-end health and can intelligently switch between back-end pools based on availability. Think of Azure Front Door like having a smart backup generator that kicks in during a power outage. When the main power grid fails, the generator detects this instantly and switches automatically to keep your house running without interruption. Here are the key takeaways about failover capabilities. Azure Front Door provides automatic intelligent failover with real-time health monitoring, typically responding in seconds. Azure CDN often requires manual intervention and can take minutes to respond to failures. For mission-critical applications, Front Door is the clear choice. Microsoft has completely reimagined Azure Front Door with a new version that brings significant improvements and modernization to content delivery services. The new Azure Front Door comes in two tiers: Standard and Premium, each designed to meet different business needs and complexity requirements. The Standard tier provides essential features like basic routing and content caching, while the Premium tier adds advanced security with WAF protection, bot detection, and enhanced analytics capabilities. Let's explore the key improvements that make this new version a significant upgrade from the previous generation. The new version brings 4 major improvements that transform how organizations manage their content delivery infrastructure. These improvements work together to provide a more streamlined experience, reducing complexity while increasing capabilities for modern web applications. Now let's look at what happens to the existing classic services and the important timeline you need to know about. Microsoft has established a clear transition plan. Classic Azure Front Door and CDN services are now considered legacy products that will not receive new features. Organizations have until March 31st, 2027 to migrate from classic services to the new Azure Front Door. This gives plenty of time for planning and execution. Microsoft has also released several important updates that are already available for immediate use. 2 major features are now generally available. Server Variable Enhancement, released in May 2024, provides better request processing capabilities. Log scrubbing automatically protects sensitive data in your logs, ensuring compliance and security without manual intervention. The new Azure Front Door represents a significant evolution in content delivery services, offering improved automation, unified content handling, and enhanced security in a simplified package. Let's explore real-world examples to understand when to use each service. First, consider an e-commerce platform during Black Friday sales. During normal operations, the store handles standard traffic levels. But on Black Friday, traffic can spike dramatically, sometimes 5 times the normal volume. Azure Front Door's intelligent load balancing automatically distributed this massive traffic surge across multiple backend servers, preventing downtime and ensuring customers could complete their purchases. Here's another example. A software as a service provider needed to improve performance for their global users, particularly in Europe. Before implementing Azure Front Door, European users experienced high API latency. After deployment, latency was reduced by 40% through intelligent geographic routing. So when should you choose each service? The decision depends on your specific needs and content type. Choose Azure CDN when you're primarily delivering static content like images, videos, CSS files, or JavaScript. It's perfect for websites, media streaming, and software downloads. Choose Azure Front Door when you need global load balancing, advanced traffic routing, and robust security for dynamic web applications. It's ideal for SaaS platforms, e-commerce sites, and applications requiring high availability. Remember, the choice isn't always either or. Many organizations use both services together, Azure CDN for static assets and Azure Front Door for dynamic application traffic, creating a comprehensive content delivery strategy. Now that we've explored both services, let's create a clear framework for choosing between Azure CDN and Azure Front Door based on your specific needs. Azure CDN is your go-to choice for static content delivery. If you're serving images, videos, CSS files, or JavaScript to users worldwide, CDN provides fast, cost-effective caching with basic security features. Azure Front Door is designed for dynamic web applications that require intelligent traffic routing, global load balancing, and advanced security features like web application firewall protection. Let's look at some key performance metrics to help you decide. Consider factors like latency optimization, security capabilities, and implementation complexity. Here's a simple decision framework. Start by identifying your content type. For static content like images and files, Azure CDN is typically the right choice. For dynamic web applications, consider whether you need advanced security features like web application firewall protection. If yes, Azure Front Door is your best option. Looking ahead, Microsoft is investing heavily in the new Azure Front Door platform. The classic services will be retired in March 2027, so plan your migration strategy accordingly. To wrap up, here are my key recommendations. First, thoroughly assess your application needs and traffic patterns. Consider your security requirements and plan for the future with the new Azure Front Door platform. Remember, the right choice depends on your specific use case. Start with your content type, consider your security needs, and keep an eye on Microsoft's roadmap for future planning. Thanks for watching.